He's ducking you.
Talking about ducking since before the first fight.
Okay.
There's two things that are happening. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible here.
Clearly, he doesn't value anything that he signs. He loves to tell people don't do bad business, but this is like as high as it gets on the ladder of doing bad business.
Regarding Floyd Mayweather's reported $100 million Netflix fine, he said Mayweather needs to stop behaving like a coward, confront his issues like a real man, accept accountability for what he has done, and quit placing the blame on other people for his own mistakes.
And don't be a chicken, don't be a coward, don't be a chicken, don't be a coward. Be a man, stop sitting down and throwing your problems on everybody else and blaming another individual or people for everything gone wrong.
Jazz Math explained that Floyd Mayweather clearly knew exactly what he was agreeing to, including the fact that it was a professional fight. That is why denying the deal now does not make much sense, since all the terms had already been made clear from the beginning.
It's not like he didn't know what he was signing. He definitely knew what he was signing. He definitely knew what he was getting himself into. But what can I say? I mean, at some point things just get real, and it got real. So that's where we're at today.
Well, consequences are real as
yes,
well. So
absolutely.
what is the ramifications of him taking that money and then not honoring the contract?
I mean, each party have their own damages. Right? The production company that we're working with, Everwonder, will help put this together and have a great relationship with Netflix. They're one of the premier live sports partners for Netflix. They have their own claims and damages. We, Manny Pacquiao and Manny Pacquiao Promotions have our own claims and damages, right? We're sitting in a limbo right now, not knowing if this man is going to step in the ring or he's not going to step in the ring. Clearly, he doesn't value anything that he signs. He loves to tell people don't do bad business, but this is like as high as it gets.
Manny Pacquiao stated that Floyd Mayweather cannot back out of the contract or avoid the rematch at this stage, emphasizing that he wants the fight because he believes he was not at his absolute best during their first encounter and feels he deserves another opportunity.
For me, I want this fight because the last time that we had, I'm not 100% condition because ready for the fight because I have injury, shoulder injury. So that's why right after the fight, I go straight to the hospital and get operated.
Do you feel like
reports indicate that Floyd Mayweather is facing major legal and financial pressure, with potential penalties reportedly surpassing $100 million in connection to the Netflix Manny Pacquiao rematch dispute? In a separate issue, there are also claims that his boxing gym may be at risk of shutting down because of unpaid dues.
Under investigation with the IRS, he apparently owes the IRS $7 million and they're looking to put a lien on his stuff. He's having issues with money, and Floyd Mayweather took the advance money from Netflix to face off against Manny Pacquiao in a rematch September 19th, and it's official on BoxRec. And so Floyd Mayweather's going through financial issues, big financial issues, right? And he's trying to recoup money any way possible. But he signed and took the advance from Netflix to fight Manny Pacquiao in a rematch in September, in a real fight, only to turn around and say, it's not going to be a real fight, it's going to be an exhibition. That's after he already received the advance money.
Recent reports have also referenced an IRS lien worth $7.3 million along with continuing concerns surrounding the alleged contract breach, placing even more financial pressure on his current situation.
Fight at the Sphere on Netflix. So he's reneging. And Manny Pacquiao is not happy, Netflix is not happy, so on and so forth, right? With that said, it said that Floyd Mayweather's boxing gym, the famous Mayweather boxing gym, has been receiving issues because unpaid money, right? And so it's on the verge of being shut down, allegedly. I was just there. And Now it's widespread reports that Manny Pacquiao got wind.
Manny Pacquiao said he feels sorry for Floyd Mayweather, claiming that Floyd places too much importance on material possessions and frequently brags about his money rather than demonstrating humility, respect, and accountability.
What was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
This kind of, yeah, he's boastful. I think his god is the material things, money, everything like that.
Yeah.
And
Do you guys ever talk outside the ring?
I'm pity with him. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things.
The amount of lawsuits and debt-related claims connected to Floyd Mayweather is remarkable, including a $1.3 million legal battle involving luxury jewelry, which adds even more pressure to his already controversial financial situation.
Time from a high-end Miami jeweler claiming he owes $1.375 million for luxury watches and chains. According to court filings, Mayweather allegedly purchased 27 watches and 15 chains, totaling $1.675 million from Adri's Jewelry last August, but paid just $300,000. 5 checks reportedly bounced. The lawsuit follows other recent legal issues, including a New York claim alleging he owes $330,000 in unpaid rent on a Manhattan penthouse, along with a separate federal case in South Florida involving a reported $4 million jewelry dispute. The 50-0 former champion is scheduled to return to the ring in September for a rematch against Manny.
Wade Plemons has raised serious doubts about the controversy involving Floyd Mayweather's reported breach of contract with Netflix regarding the proposed rematch against Manny Pacquiao. According to Wade, there are only 2 believable explanations. Either there was a major breakdown in communication and paperwork during negotiations, or Mayweather is intentionally attempting to manipulate the agreement for financial benefit. The most surprising allegation is that Mayweather had supposedly already collected an advance payment from his fight purse before the bout was officially finalized. Wade emphasized how uncommon that situation is, particularly when the entire event is already facing uncertainty. Although advance payments can sometimes be used to help secure a fight, taking a large sum and then publicly damaging the promotion creates major concerns.
The fight. I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is like partial. But still, what? So if this is to be believed, and this is via ESPN, this is not, random Twitter person reporting this. I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bag. Floyd has done this for years. He has done this for years, especially after his pro career. When he was doing these exhibitions, he would not show up to things he was obligated to do, take advances. Even the Deji fight, you can ask Deji, I was there. Floyd demanded that they pay him some insane...
Wade also believes this situation may not be a one-time occurrence. He claims that Mayweather has reportedly displayed a similar pattern in past exhibition fights, where financial disagreements and last-minute adjustments caused major confusion. He pointed to the Deji exhibition and the Logan Paul event, both of which were surrounded by accusations involving payment issues and promotional disputes. What makes the current situation far more serious is the legal aspect attached to it. Reports from major media outlets claim that Mayweather signed 3 separate contracts for a professional fight with Manny Pacquiao and allegedly accepted payment tied to those agreements. If those reports are true, then according to Wade, Mayweather would officially be in breach of contract, making legal action from Netflix and Pacquiao's team very possible. This situation could become one of the most damaging legal controversies of his post-boxing career.
They paid Floyd to do it. And I've seen this with a bunch of his exhibitions, and obviously we know about the Logan Paul situation, how Floyd shopped his fight to a different company after essentially scamming royalty like Prince whoever in Dubai and stole his money. This is insane. Now he's trying to do it to Netflix. Oh yeah, he's 100% about to get sued because Team Pacquiao says Floyd Mayweather signed 3 contractual agreements for a professional fight against Pacquiao. 3 separate agreements. They also claim Floyd Mayweather has been paid for signing these 3 agreements and has also taken out a cash advance payment on his purse for the fight. They also say Floyd Mayweather is officially in breach of contract for publicly stating this fight is an exhibition. And if this is all true, which again, this is Team Pacquiao saying this, but again, I think Mike Coppinger also...
Floyd Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle has always been associated with money, fame, and public displays of success. Luxury watches, custom-made jewelry, high-end designer outfits, and an image built around wealth have all become central parts of his persona. However, the recent legal conflict involving AJ's jewelry presents a concerning look at how that flashy lifestyle may now be clashing with financial and legal problems. According to the complaint, the jeweler allegedly placed trust in Mayweather through an arrangement commonly referred to as "you're good for it," which allowed him to take expensive jewelry while payment would be made later. This type of trust-based agreement may have succeeded in the past, particularly for someone with Mayweather's reputation and long history of massive earnings. But the lawsuit claims that this time the arrangement fell apart. The filing alleges that Mayweather failed to keep up with the agreed payments and only submitted partial amounts. Even more concerning are claims that multiple checks issued to settle the debt were returned due to insufficient funds. Court documents reportedly indicate that only about $300,000 was paid, leaving an unpaid balance of nearly $1.375 million. It was also reported that several efforts to settle the issue privately did not succeed.
For it, you'll get me later. And in the past, maybe they had this arrangement and it works. But in this new lawsuit and complaint, he's saying that for whatever reason, allegedly, Floyd defaulted on that and then sent partial payments, but not the agreed upon amount. And then he's claiming that Floyd Mayweather had checks that he sent to pay back this debt owed, and they bounced. According to court records, AJ's jewelry says it only received about $300,000 in payments, which leaves roughly $1.375 million owed. And that repeated attempts to reach Floyd to resolve this debt have been unsuccessful. So this suit also lists and details how transactions were handled, and allegedly there was a...
This situation highlights the dangers that can come with maintaining an extremely lavish lifestyle where public image often depends on constantly showing off wealth. Jewelry valued at more than $1 million represents luxury and status, but it also demonstrates how costly appearances can turn into legal problems when financial disputes arise. For a fighter once famously known as Money Mayweather, these allegations create doubts about whether the image of unlimited wealth is now being overshadowed by lawsuits and unpaid debts. It also suggests that the pressure to continue appearing flashy and larger than life may be playing a role in the difficult period surrounding the semi-retired boxing star.
On this current outstanding balance. As far as Mayweather's representatives, they have not issued a public statement on this matter or responding to the lawsuit at hand. This latest filing adds to a series of legal and also contractual disputes involving the 8th division, well actually he's a 6th division world champion since his retirement. And this is kind of underscoring how these celebrity transactions can lead to former litigation and go left when they are contested. So that is where we are regarding Floyd Mayweather. Troubled times for the now semi-retired boxer Floyd Mayweather. So $1.4 million in jewelry.
Aries Spears strongly criticized reckless spending habits by referring to the financial difficulties once experienced by Mike Tyson. He used Tyson's experience as an example that even the biggest and most successful athletes can face serious money problems when poor financial decisions begin to take control. Enormous fortunes can disappear rapidly because of extravagant lifestyles, uncontrolled spending, and the absence of proper long-term planning. Spears' comments emphasize that fame and wealth alone do not guarantee lasting financial stability. Without discipline and smart financial management, even legendary sports careers can end with major setbacks, proving that wealth in athletics can be just as fragile as success itself.
was one of like the OG jewelers. Like these are the, one of the jewelers that supplies like all the other jewelers, right? And he told me that Mayweather is broke.
I keep hearing this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true.
I don't think
But
so.
he said that based on his spending and so forth, this is why these fights are happening now. That he needs to make some money back. That the spending has outpaced the money that, the
Well, I
money
mean,
he
he's
had.
been retired,
Right.
and he's still, flying to Monaco with a bad bitch, buying up half the store.
Right. Always flying private.
Yeah.
Does he have his own plane?
Yeah, he does.
He does, right. So that's massively expensive. Even if you own it, the upkeep is huge. Right. Plus all the properties, all the property tax. Yeah, I mean, if you're not properly invested, I mean, there was like, you saying that he bought this building in the Diamond District, but people are saying that's, the same jeweler said that's actually not true.
Right.
So there's been a lot of stuff like that. Listen, I hope not, man, but I remember I interviewed Tyson. He lost like...
Business expert Grant Cardone criticized Floyd Mayweather's financial strategy, suggesting that weak investments and irresponsible spending habits could prevent long-term wealth growth and financial stability. He also questioned the importance of having more than 22 million followers, asking whether that massive audience truly generates business opportunities or steady income. According to Cardone, having a huge social media following means very little if it is not transformed into valuable assets or reliable cash flow.
Floyd Mayweather's got 22 million people following him. But is it any good? Like I don't know what it does with him. Like, does it do business with him? Does it transact with him? I know guys with big followings. But there's nothing happens as a result of the following.
So you is Floyd rich or is Floyd broke? Which side?
I don't know. I think Floyd ends up broke.
Ends up broke.
If he doesn't, it's not a Floyd thing. It's not a Floyd thing. It's an asset thing. If you don't end up in assets, you end up broke.
Yeah.
So because you can't keep fighting forever.
So if Floyd was watching right now, what would you say to him?
Floyd, you need to spend as much time working on your investments as you do in Neiman Marcus or the Gucci store, the Fendi store.
He could just invest with you, though, right?
He could invest at Cardone Capital. I would ensure that he's a billionaire.
Wow.
Like you cannot become a billionaire.
He warned that Mayweather could eventually face financial instability if he keeps placing luxury spending ahead of smart investment strategies. In Cardone's opinion, wealth is not preserved by constantly shopping at expensive stores, but by owning income-producing assets such as real estate and large businesses. He stressed that real billionaires expand their wealth through systems that create steady and reliable cash flow. Cardone also explained that companies like Amazon, Facebook, and Netflix are examples of modern-day asset models. Although real estate continues to be one of the safest routes toward long-term wealth, his message to Mayweather was straightforward. Move away from excessive lifestyle spending and focus on structured investments that create generational wealth, financial security, and consistent income.
That's what Floyd would do. Floyd would take whatever money he's got, and we would basically. My recommendation to Floyd is: Floyd, do not be liquid. You do not want liquidity. Never show a king bed of cash again. Okay, it makes you look stupid. Okay, what would be smart is if you show somebody 38 acres of real estate that produces cash every month and say, look, I own that. And I own this one over here and I own that one. I met him just 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's like, I got some penthouses. I said, no, you got this much of a penthouse. I own the whole place. That's the difference.
Chael Sonnen explains that Floyd Mayweather, similar to many world-class fighters, faces the difficult task of preserving wealth after retirement. He points out that although Mayweather's boxing career delivered enormous fame, historic earnings, and worldwide recognition, the public spotlight naturally starts to fade once a fighter is no longer actively competing. According to Sonnen, this creates a challenging adjustment period where media attention, business opportunities, and steady income streams are no longer guaranteed. Even for highly successful athletes, handling finances after retirement becomes just as important as making money during their careers. Sonnen emphasizes that maintaining long-term financial discipline and making smart investments are crucial for ensuring that earlier success continues to provide security and stability later in life.
Boxer, do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't.
Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. Literally nobody. It's the same thing with boxing pay-per-view. Whatever boxing pay-per-view is the biggest boxing pay-per-view of all time, it's just whoever put out the press release and lied more than the person before them. These have never been confirmed by leadership of a publicly traded company. Who is the one that supplies the pay-per-view? It is illegal for them to lie. You have never heard.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates. Until next time.